Very good morning, guys. Myself Divakar, working as an application engineer from UCM. Today webinar topic is workflow for Revit MEP. Okay, so before that, we should know about the capability of the software Revit. So Revit, it has a three discipline: architecture, structure, and MEP. In architectural part, we can create a exterior and interior designing, and structural part we can placing a footing, column, a beam, staircase, slab, and with a reinforcement, as well as a steel work, same a steel column, beam, trusses, like that. In MEP part, MEP in the sense mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. In mechanical, it's nothing but HVAC work, that is heating, ventilation, air conditioning system. And then electrical part we can place in the lights, switches, socket, like that. Only a layout design we can do in electrical. And then plumbing, so plumbing same, you have to provide a plumbing features like uh, urinal, tap, sink, like that. Same that we can provide a piping for domestic water, and then sanitary water pipeline for the plumbing work. Okay, so today we are focusing only for HVAC part. Okay, right. Okay, this is the workflow. That is the step by step I am giving the points. So this is a simple workflow for HVAC part. Okay, first thing we have to link the Revit model, that is a architectural model. In that model, what are the things we require? So the same thing, we have to provide a wall finishes, floor finishes, ceiling, and a roof. The main important thing is for that service I'm providing, in that we have to provide in architectural model ceiling and roof. That spacing, the spacing is called as a plenum level. In that plenum level, we should provide a properly. Okay, that is very important. In live presentation, live demonstration, I will show that what is that plenum level, how to provide a plenum level. Okay, the first thing we have to link the architectural model in MEP template. Okay, and next step, once I got the model, what is the next step? We have to create the spacing. So spacing means is nothing but we have to create calculate the voided area. See in this image, the green color indicated as an spacing. We can calculate the void area. So why we are calculating the spacing? So that time only we can understand the heating and cooling temperature of that room. Okay, so that's why we are calculating the spacing for each and every room. Okay, so next step we have to calculate the heating and cooling calculation for that particular room. For particular room means not a particular room. For example, office building means we have a employee room, managers room, so like that, right? The same thing, we have to calculate each and every room for a heating and cooling calculation. So why we have required that heating and cooling calculation? So that time only we can understand that, for because we have different size of rooms. So that time each room having different temperature. So that's why we are using this heating and cooling calculation method. Okay. Once I got the report, and then we have to provide the diffuser and deck and what is the flow value. Okay. And next step, once I got the report, so next step we have to provide the diffuser. Okay, the diffuser, we have two types of diffuser. One is a supply diffuser, another one is a return diffuser. Supply diffuser means it's nothing but air terminal. Air terminal giving a cooling air, that is a supply diffuser. And then return diffuser is absorbing the warm air. So that is the difference between supply and return. Okay, once I go placing my diffusers, and the next step is auto duct working. So auto duct working means already I am placing 100 type of return and supply diffuser, and I am having an AHU, that is air handling unit. So once I am selecting all the type of supply diffuser, I am including my AHU. So only one a tool is there, duct routing option. Just click the duct routing, automatically all the duct will be connected to AHU. That is called as auto duct work. Okay. As well as we have one more method, that is a manual duct work. So we have to provide the each and everything. So elbow, length, everything we have to provide in manual duct work. Okay. So that is the difference between auto duct work and then manual duct work. Okay, once I done the process, what is the next step? You have to provide the insulation. That is some insulation on my duct. So that is called as insulation. And final step is a fabrication. I want to convert my model to designing form. Okay, so that is called as a fabrication. Okay, okay, fine. So this is the sample report output. So this is the heating and cooling calculation report, and this is the symbol of diffuser. So the outside arrow indicated as a supply diffuser and inner arrow indicated as a return diffuser, and then the same inner arrow but the in square, right, in square box in something different, right? So that is called as exact. So exhaust. Okay, so that is the three different thing we have. Okay, so this is the sample layout of supply diffuser. So this is your AHU and this is your duct routing, that is a rectangular duct routing, and this is your supply diffuser. It is indicated as a color a blue, and magenta is indicated as a supply. Okay, okay guys, right. So I'm going to show you a live demonstration of AHU. Okay, sorry, HVAC. Okay guys, so now I'm going to create an architectural model. Okay, so first thing you have to choose the template. Okay, must choose architectural template. Just okay. Okay, so I'm going to create one office building, 4 rooms, one manager room, and AHU room, and some toilet. Okay, so first thing we have to check out the elevation at the 4000 is enough, and go to the floor plan. Now I'm going to create a wall, and before that duplicate the wall and change the thickness of the wall. I think duplicate 30 mm wall, that's the exterior wall. And again I'm going to create one more wall type, that is a toilet, a slab in between a urinal. Okay, so that is a toilet slab. That is a 100 mm thickness. Okay, I have a two type. One is 230 mm salad, and that is change the value here. That's a 230 mm. Click OK, and again you select your toilet slab 100 mm, 80, and change the value here. That is 100 mm. Yeah. Okay, so just to drop down the property, in that we have a 230 mm wall, and change your top constraint level 2 and create a node. In case we are having you are having a CAD plan, that's not a problem. Just input your CAD plan and select the model. Okay. So I think 8,000 mm. This one is a 20 mm, 25,000 mm. Okay. Again wall. Okay. My home office type. Okay, this is a nice one, and this is the age room, and this one is the top. Yeah. So almost I covered all the view. So I'm going to create a partition wall. This one is the employee room. So I'm going to create a partition wall. So I'm randomly creating. I'm not plotting any size of this room, but I want equal spacing. So that's why I'm using a align dimension. This is one of the different tips. So select all the rooms using this method and use this equal as equal. Automatically all the wall will be aligned. Okay. So the next final step is how to provide the condition standard the urinal map for the. So again select the wall and go to the property and change the type. Yeah, toilet stand. Okay. And before that, the one more thing, you have to change the top constraint. So use this unconnected and change the value should be as 1500. Okay, and then create that. I'm just creating a three partition. Okay. The final step. So how to place the doors for each and every rooms. Okay, I'm using a single flush door. Okay. And this is the age room. You have to provide an opening or a some doors. So I'm going to provide a door opening. Yeah. Okay, I just placed the opening. And next step is you have to provide the window. Okay. I'm not providing any zero height. I'm just randomly placing the window. Okay. So last three steps you have to create a floor, ceiling, and roof. That's enough. So you have to select the floor and you have to provide the proper thickness of the floor and create our overall floor. That's outer to outer. And you finish. Floor will be created. Next thing is how to create a ceiling. Okay. So what is the floor to ceiling height? So that is your project requirement. So depends upon your project requirement. You have to provide the ceiling height. So I'm using this sketch ceiling. So my ceiling height is 2600 and just create a ceiling inner to inner, not outer to outer, inner to inner. Just creating inner to inner, just click finish as well as you have to provide the thickness of the ceiling and give finish. And next final step is how to create the roof by footprint. Just uncheck the defense row. Okay, level 2. Okay, and before that you have to uncheck the defense row and change the thickness of the roof and create a roof to outer, not inner to inner, outer to outer, and you finish. Yeah, finally I got a focus attack building. Okay, so the next step is, so already told you right in that presentation you have to provide a plenum level. So this in between spacing is called plenum level. The ceiling to roof, this in between spacing is called a plenum level. In the plenum level, the extended wall, right? This is the extended wall, right? You want to align the wall to your ceiling. All the wall you have to align the to your ceiling. Okay, change into shade blue. Okay, so first step you have to align the roof. Now I'm using align option. Okay, align, select your ceiling and enable this multiple alignment option and select the walls. Okay, how to select all the inner walls. Okay, then almost, yeah. And final step, just reset temporary height and display. So finally I got a office building. So first of all I have to save this model. Save art model. This. Okay, I will save. So close the. Okay guys, so finally we got a architectural model. The next step is we have to open a MEP template. So again click new, that we have a system template. The system template is an MEP template. So go to the browse option, I have a system default matrix, just open, click OK. Okay, yeah, finally I got a system template. So in that, a little bit different in project browser. In architecture, we know that the plan elevation section is there, but in that we have a different discipline is there. So sub-discipline, this is called as the sub-discipline, right? Electrical, mechanical, and plumbing, right? So this is called as a sub-discipline, okay? So, but today we are focusing only on mechanical part. You just open the mechanical. So in mechanical we have a HVAC. In HVAC we have a floor plan, ceiling plan, 3D view, and elevation. So don't use your electrical or plumbing. Okay. In case you are a mechanical user, that is you are a HVAC user, not an electrical or plumbing. So you have a mechanical template. Okay. In that we have a separate template. We have a mechanical template, electrical template, and plumbing template. Okay, so that's your wish. Okay, so I'm using a system template. In system template, I'm in mechanical. That is a floor plan 1. So you have to link your architectural model. Okay, go to the insert, link Revit, desktop. I have a architectural model, select, and place it to your positioning, internal origin to origin, or center to center. Okay, depends upon your project requirement. Just open. I got a model finally. Okay, so once get the model, go to the next step. Okay, next step we have to create the spacing. Okay, once link the Revit model, and next step is we have to create the spacing. I go to the mechanical floor plan. Just minimize the okay. So first step we have to create a spacing. So go to your analyst tab. In analyst tab we have a space and zone option. We have to create a space. Okay. So select the space. Will not take the room bounding. So before that, so select the link model. Go to the edit type. In that we have a room bounding option. You just enable the room bounding. Okay, now again try to refresh. The area will be occupied. So spacing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so please ignore the two rooms. So this one's the age room and this one's the oldest. That's why I ignore the two rooms. Right? I have a 6 spaces. Okay, so what's the next step? So next step we have to calculate the heating and cooling. Okay, right. Okay, so same analysis tab. In that we have a report and schedule option. In that we have a heating and cooling mode. Okay, so select the heating and cooling calculator. Okay, so in that we have to provide some detail. Okay, so in that building, what is the type of building? See, that building is showing what are the spacing we have created, right? It's showing the 6 spacing. Okay, so first step you have to select the building type. So this one is a office type or a hospital or commercial or industrial building. So what type of building is that? Okay, so first thing you have to select that. So this one is an office building. So this is that. And next step you have to provide a location. Okay, for this building, a location. In the location we have a two method. One is a default setting. Another one is internet mapping service. So first one is default city list, another one is internet mapping service. Okay, so default city, for example, for not having an internet access, so that time you can use this default city. For example, Chennai. I'm choosing Chennai. Okay, so Chennai, India. Okay, in Chennai, India, the automatically latitude and longitude will be shown and weather and sky will be shown, right? In case no, in Chennai, I want to provide most accurate location. For example, some cities like Tambaram, Coimbatore, like that. So you want to provide that, right? So in that situation, you have to use this internet mapping. So part you need a internet access. Okay, in that you have to provide the exact location. Okay, so now I'm using the city Chennai. Yeah. Okay, and then ground plane. So the ground plane should be level 1. Next thing is a project phase. So this one is a new construction or existing. So this one is a new construction or existing. And the next one is sliver space tolerance. Is nothing but I want to ignore the spacing. So like a staircase area or lift area. So you want to ignore the lift area, staircase area. So that's why we are providing sliver space tolerance value. Okay. And the next one is building envelope. You want to calculate the inner volume, that is the inner space volume or exterior element. You want to calculate the heating and cooling calculation. You want to calculate the heating and cooling calculation for interior or including your exterior wall also. Okay. So that is the difference between use a function parameter or identify exterior element also. Okay, that's the difference between first one and second one. And then a built-in service. Okay, in that built-in service, what type of duct you are going to provide? It's a single duct or dual duct or indoor packed cabinet. So what is the type of duct you are going to provide? So mostly we are preferred single duct VAV. So VAV is nothing but the equipment variable air volume. So that is the full form. We can control the pressure. So this equipment we can control the cooling air pressure. Okay, so mostly we are using VAV single duct. Next one is schematic type. So this one is more detailed. For example, for roof and wall, exterior wall, interior wall or ceiling, and that time we have to provide the more detailed work. Means how to use this schematic type. Okay, and then building infiltration. Okay, we have a three method: loss, medium, and type. Okay, for example, loss means for a mall. I will take an example mall. Okay, shopping mall. In shopping mall, it's an open source, right? So the cooling air will be coming in and out. Okay, so that's an open space. So that time we should use a loose. Okay, and then medium. Medium means that is an office building rare case. We are opening a door rare case, right? So that time the loss will be a medium. So that time we have to choose a medium for office building or colleges like that. Tight. Tight means, for example, in hospital ICU, it's a rare, right? Industrial area or chemical factory. In that area, you must choose this tight. Okay, so that is the difference between um, the loss, medium, and tight. Okay, so next thing is a report type. So report type is a standard, simple, or detailed. You want a more accurate detail output. You want more accurate detail means you must choose a detail. In the case seen for a hospital building or an industrial building or chemical factory, that time we should take detail. Okay, so this one is an office building, so that's why I'm choosing a standard. Okay, so next thing is use a load credit. In case, for example, this is an employee room. Okay, I want to calculate the employee body temperature also. So that time use this load credit. Okay. Okay. For example, you are asking. Okay, I want to define the occupied area. For example, per person, how much area occupied? I want to provide the more detail means. Okay. For example, if you are enable this load credit means I want to provide the per person area occupied. So go to the detail. In detail tab, we have a option space 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. It's showing, for example, space 1. That's the first room. So select the space 1. You have to keep the field button. It's showing. For example, this one is a what type of room is that? It's a storage room or a classroom or anything, or else you have to create a new type. we have a new option. You have to create a new and provide this one as an employee room. Employee room. So E-room, just I'm providing a E-room. And that is showing area per person. You have to provide by meter square. For per person, how much area they will occupy. You have to provide for that. Okay. So this is more detail. Okay. For lighting schedule, power schedule, outdoor air per person, outdoor per area. So we can provide more detailed thing. Okay. In case if you want, I want to more detail means use this option. Okay. Just close. And then construction type. Same. The construction type means, for example, for that roof. For construction for that roof, you have to provide the analytical construction, which type, flat roof or flat roof A. So they are providing some calculation value. Okay, this is the more detailed work. Okay, in case if you want, I want to take a more detailed work means use this option. Okay, just close this. So people for people, how much area they will occupy. So occupancy specify. So number of people for that room is has mentioned that, for example, 2 people. So automatically showing per meter square how much it will be taken. Okay. So go back to the just close it. Just disable this. Okay. Or you want a more detail means use this located option. Okay. Now you calculate. Okay. So yeah, finally we got a report. Okay, it's showing the building summary, type of building and how much area and how much volume of that building, and then calculated. That's the peak cooling total load. It's showing the 17194 load. Okay, that is the cooling value. So for each room, for each spacing, it's giving what is the area for that room, what is the volume, what is the peak volume. Sorry, that's the peak cooling and then cooling air and then heating air. Okay, so this is the value you have to provide. That is a liter per second. Okay, LS value. Okay, so finally we got a report and go back to the room. So select the space, it will be shown. So how much required for this room? 110.07 liter per second. Okay, for this room. Okay, right. So what is the next step? We have to provide the diffuser. Okay, you have to place the diffuser, that is called as air terminal. Okay, go to the system tab. In that we have an air terminal. Air terminal is a technical term. The general term is a diffuser. Okay, so select the air terminal. In that property tab, we have a three type of diffuser: exhaust, grill, return diffuser, and supply diffuser. First of all, we have to place the supply diffuser, showing 600 of 600, showing it's a huge size, right? So you have to duplicate the diffuser and change the size. Okay, go to the edit type and duplicate 300 cross 300. Okay, this one is a 200. So we have a two profile on that diffuser, base and top profile. So that's why a duct width and height, a diffuser width and height. Okay, like do a different values there. So this one is the 300. Okay, yeah, now it's better. So next step, you have to provide the elevation height. So the elevation height is called a plenum level. So 2600, that is our ceiling height. This is called the plenum level height. Okay, just place a diffuser on your ceiling. Okay, just place the diffuser. Maximum the alignment should be straight. That's better. Okay. Right. So here I am to provide a two diffuser for this area. For this one is a reception. For example, this one is a reception area. So I'm just placing two diffuser. So next step, we have to provide the return diffuser. Same, select the add terminal and select your return diffuser. You go to the edit type and duplicate and provide the same 6 here too. 300 cross 300. Okay. So this one is okay. 150 cross 150. This one is 300. So the simple indicator. So inside arrow it indicated as a return diffuser. Okay, I'm placing return. For a design path, if you are providing 70%, 75% of supply diffuser means you have to provide 25% of a return diffuser. That is a small calculation. Okay. Okay, here I'm providing. Okay, done. So select the diffuser. So I'm doing one mistake. So we have to provide the elevation height. Otherwise, the diffuser will be placing on the floor. Okay, don't do this mistake. So just right click, visible and blue, selecting all the return and provide the elevation height. That is at minimum level 2600 will be placed. Okay, then almost done. So next step is we have to provide the mechanical equipment. That is our AHU, area air valve air handling unit. That is called as AHU. So in system tab we have a mechanical equipment. Select the mechanical equipment and just drop down your property, or else go to the load family. You go to the air handling unit. Okay. The number indicators and a type. Okay. I'm choosing 03 and place your AHU on the floor level. Okay. Done. So next step, go to the PPT. Once I done placing a AHU, completed my AHU and placing a diffuser return on supply. And next step, I'm going to use auto.work. Okay, I'm going to use auto.work. So first of all, you have to create a layer. First one is supply layer. Okay, select any supply diffuser, select the supply diffuser, use this duct option, creating system, that is called as duct system, select the duct system. Okay, the system type should be a supply air and the system is mechanical supply air one. Okay, done. So use this edit system and select the remaining supplies. So select the remaining supply diffuser. Okay, be careful to select only a supply, not a return. Okay, so okay, next step, use this select equipment and select your AHU and you finish. It will be changed in blue color. The blue color indicated as a supply. Okay, do the same thing for return. Okay, so select the return diffuser and use the same duct option, return app. Okay, and you okay, use the edit system option and select the remaining return diffuser and select equipment, select the equipment, you finish, showing the magenta color. Okay, now going to generate the layout. Okay, just hold on in supply and use the tab option showing that boundary box and click. We have a option that is called as generate layout option. I give the generate layout. See, automatically it will be showing the layout. So we have an option 1 of 6. If you next, showing different type of layout. So which one is better, you can press it. Okay. So 1 of 6. So which one is better, you have to please that. Okay. As well as go to 3D view. And show the same way. So 1 is better and 3 is better, right? 1 is better and 3 is better. So okay, I'm going to freeze on 3. Okay. So before that, we should know about the color. Okay, so the blue color line indicated as a main duct, and green color indicated as a branch duct, and yellow color indicated as an error. That is a warning. Okay, so we have to rectify the warning. Okay, that is an error. How to rectify? We have to change the offset value. That is a height offset value. So go to the setting. That is showing the main and branch. So we have to increase the height offset value. For example, I'm going to change to 3000. Here also 3000. Give OK. A little bit increase, but error will not rectified. Again, go to setting. 3100 and the branch also 3100. Yeah, problem is solved. Yeah. Okay, fine. Now the final step is just to finish and see the difference. So finally I got a duct routing for supply. Okay. Again go back to the flow plan, do the same method for return. Okay, select the, so okay, don't select the return, just hold on the return diffuser, use the tab option, it's showing that boundary line, just click the, use the same method, that is a generate layout. Okay, it's showing the same 1 of 6, just change which one is better. Okay, I think this one's better, and go to 3D view. Okay, I think I have an error, right? That area I'm on error. Okay, so go to next thing. Okay. Yeah, I think this one is better. Fifth one is better because I'm not having more error. Okay. Yeah, super. So same, the blue color indicated as a main duct, and the green color indicated as a branch duct, and in yellow color indicated as a warning symbol. Because in that area the elbow will not taken. Okay, so that is the reason. See, this elbow will not taken. So that is the reason it's showing yellow color. Again, go to the settings. Have to provide change the value a little bit. So already in supply we are providing a 3000. Have to increase the value 3400. 3400. Okay. Done. So now give finish and see the difference. Then finally we got our supply duct and return duct. So this is called as auto duct routing. Yeah, you can say that time. Usually I got a return diffuser and then supply diffuser with age, right? So we can save the time and you are using auto duct routing. Okay. So next part is we have to create a manual work. For example, I just delete the return. So return duct. So I'm going to delete the return duct. I'm going to create manual. Okay. So go to the flow plan. So first of all, we have to create a section. It will be taking time. So that is the difference between auto duct and manual duct. Each and every area we have to cover the section and draw it out and go to view. Okay. So select your age here. So show the size 900 view size. So how to go to edit type and change the size of that a written duct. Okay, so this is a 4000. Okay, this one is better, right? So select the AHU and just hold on that point. I click, use this option, draw duct. It's showing, so it's automatically showing this one is a written duct. Okay, and draw duct. Okay, so change in the detail level, change into file, showing the exact shape. Okay, so select that by using a trim option, select the first duct and second duct, automatically join. Okay, so this is called as rectangular elbow mitted option. Okay, in case I don't want this rectangular shape, I want to provide some elbow shape. So just to drop down, use this M rectangular elbow radius. Use 1.5. Okay, so here also I want to change the type. Okay, so this one is a manual type. Okay. Okay, fine. In case I don't want this rectangular depth, in this area I want to provide some flux duct. Okay, I think you know about that flux duct, right? So in this, the area, the shorten area, sometimes it's showing some error. This is a shorten area. I want to provide a flux duct. Okay, so do one thing. So select your diffuser. In system tab, we have an option. In HVAC panel, we have a convert to flux duct option. Just select that and select your diffuser. Automatically converted to a flux duct. See? The shorten area, use this method. Okay, as well as, okay, fine, sir. In case I want to change the particular duct size, so that's not a problem. Selected duct, we have directly we have an option. You can change the duct size and elevation height also. Okay, is that clear? Okay, fine. So the final step, we have to provide the insulation for this duct. In case if you want to provide the insulation for more detail means you have to provide the insulation. Select the duct, we have an insulation option. Add insulation and then provide your thickness. That is a duct wrap. You have to provide the thickness of insulation. So depends upon your project requirement, it automatically provides your insulation. Okay. Right. The next thing, the more detailed part, next thing is I want to provide, I want to see my pressure losses. I want a flow value, I want to see my pressure losses for this area, and this area. Okay, do one thing. Use the tab option to select all the written or supply tab. And we have an option that is a system inspector. And use this inspect option. See, it's showing that a flow value, that's a LS value, static pressure value, and pressure loss. So the blue color is a normal and red color is a more pressure loss is there. Okay, the red color indicated as a more pressure is there, pressure loss is there. So again you have to increase the length value or decrease the size of that. So what are the thing you want to change this particular area? Okay, the same thing for written also. So same, use the tab option, use this system inspector, you inspect, showing that pressure losses and everything. Okay, is that clear? Okay, guys. And finally, we can rectify the pressure value. Okay, right. So what is the next step? Fabrication part. That is a designing stage. I want to convert my model to a designing part. Okay, designing part means it's not showing direct. For example, 10 meter length of duct or 20 meter of length. We are not providing. The actual standard is we have to providing each pieces, piece by pieces. That is a 2 meter, 2 meter, 2 meter. That is we are providing a duct should be in each duct should be in 1 meter, 1 meter distance. They are providing. Okay. So this one is a modeling part we are creating. I want to convert my model to designing part. So that is called as a fabrication. Okay. Okay. So select the duct first of all by using. Okay, just hold on the return diffuser, use the tab option to select all the dots and use this option design to fabrication path. Okay, so select this. Okay, specify a fabrication configuration. First of all, you have to load that MEP fabrication, imperial or metric. Okay, I'm choosing metric. Select all the dots and just load the service and give OK. The service will be loaded into your input. Okay. Yeah, done. So again, do the same thing. So select all the diffuser and equipment and use the design to fabrication. It's showing the list. What type of duct you are going to convert. So I'm using 250 APA. So just give OK and see the model will be converted to design path. See, entirely change into fabrication. That is the design path. As well as I want to split the duct. It is not a continuous duct. I don't want to provide a continuous duct. I want to provide an actual design stage duct. So use this optimize length option and automatically split it. See, this is the actual duct system. This is called as an actual duct system. See, this joint also is converted as a fabrication path. Okay. Okay. In this fabrication, I want to provide some hangers for this duct. So go to the fabrication part. In part, it's showing all type of elbows, T joints, everything is shown. And then just to drop down, we have the RGB axis, hangers and oval. So I'm choosing hangers. And which type of hangers you want to provide? I'm choosing oval or rectangular. I'm choosing stud hanger. So when I'm holding, automatically the size will be changed. See the difference. The fabrication usually do not match. Okay, but it will take hangers. So this is the right hanger for the start. So that is the reason it's showing the error. Okay. So this is the fabrication part. Okay, guys. So this is the simple workflow for our Revit MEP. That is the HVAC part. In HVAC, we have a lot of things there. The detailing part I'm saying we have to provide all the detail thing. For example, that building type of value, that enveloping value, exterior value, thickness, that size of the duct and the flow of the pressure value and heating and cooling calculation. So the thing is more important. Each step is very important for HVAC part. Okay, I'm saying the simple thing. This is the overview I'm given. Okay, and we have a more detail in HVAC part. Okay, so next thing is we have to get a section and create a sheet and place the groups. Okay. Okay. In project browser we have a sheet option, new sheet. By default it's showing a A1 metric, or else you go to the load family and load the different size of the sheet, as well as we can create our own sheet title block. Okay, so I'm using a A1 metric. Okay, go to the floor plan, get the section, change the view range, right click, go to view. Yeah, showing the floor. I want to place the view on my sheet. Okay, go to the sheet and just place the view. Okay, and as well as we can change the scale. So this one is a small, right? I want to change my scale. Just to drop down and change the scale, or else customize the scale size. 1:50. Okay, so just hide the title line. Select and go to the property, no title, and I want to hide the boundary line. So select, just enable the crop region, or disable the crop region, and go to, and next step I'm going to paste my plan view. Okay, so you don't want this elevation points, so just enable the crop view and crop region and control the. Okay, yeah. So go back to your sheet view. Okay, updated here. So same thing, select the title and no title, and just change your scale size 1:50. And just disable the operator. That's it. Okay guys, so this is the simple workflow for HVAC pack. As well as the same sheet view I want to export as an AutoCAD. We have an option for the file, export, CAD format, and then DWG, which version you want. So 2008 or 10 or 9, so you can export as a lower version, that is the 2007, and a higher version is 2018. You can export as an newer model to CAD. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video, and in case you have any doubt, just ask any question. Otherwise, already you have in my number, right, and mail ID. In case you have any queries on our Revit, you just send a mail or just call me. Okay, thank you guys.